Hi guys, welcome back to another video of Great Stack. In this video, we are going to learn how to build your own Google Gemini AI app in React JS. We have already built the ChatGPT clone tutorial and got so much love on that tutorial. But building a ChatGPT clone requires the OpenAI API, that is a paid API. That's why I have come up with the new tutorial to build your own Google Gemini app for absolutely free. So let's see the overview of the Google Gemini project that we will create in this tutorial. First, we will build the UI of this web app where you can see this welcome message, then some suggested questions in these cards. After that, here we have this chat box and here we have this sidebar. This sidebar is collapsible. We can click on this menu icon to expand and collapse this sidebar. Now if I type any question in this input box and click on the send icon, so let's type. What is the full form of HTML? Now we have received the answer from Google Gemini. Let's ask another question. So I will type, what is React JS? Now we are getting the answer with typing effect. So this is a fully functional Google Gemini app. Whenever we ask any question in this input box, our questions will be added in this sidebar. You can see here we have two questions. What is full form of HTML and what is React JS? We can click on these questions from the sidebar to see the answer again. So this is fully functional Google Gemini app that we will create in this tutorial. After watching this tutorial, build your own Google Gemini app and share the project preview video or a screenshot on LinkedIn and tag Great Stack page. We will review your project and share it on our LinkedIn page. You can also deploy this project online and add the project live link in your resume. It will add a great value in your resume. Before starting this video, if you are absolute beginner in React JS, then I will highly recommend you to watch my complete JavaScript course, where I have explained all the advanced JavaScript concepts that are required to learn React JS. I will provide the link in the description. Now let's start to create our own Google Gemini AI app using React. So let's come back to the desktop screen and here we will open the terminal, and in this terminal we will type npm create vite latest. Here we have to provide our project name, so we will type Gemini clone and we will select the framework React, then JavaScript. Now our project folder has been created. Now we will open this folder with VS Code editor. So close this terminal and right click over this folder and select open with code. Now our project is open in VS Code editor. So in this project, we will open the integrated terminal and here we will install our dependencies. So we will type npm install, then press enter. So our dependencies has been installed and here we have one new folder which is node modules. Now we will run this project. For that we will type npm run dev. Now our project is running on this local server. So open this local server URL in the browser so you can see our project is running successfully in our web browser. Now we have to clear this default React project. For that we will come back to the VS Code editor and we will open the src folder, then app.jsx file. We will clear this file and here we will use the snippet RAFCE. After that, We will delete this app.css file. We will open index.css file and we will clear this file. After that, here we will add some default CSS properties that will be applicable for all the elements. For that, we will add padding 0 and margin 0. Then we will add box sizing of border box. After that, we will open the index.html file. So here we have one title. So in this title, we will add Gemini clone. Now we will add the CSS properties for this root ID. So we will open index.css file. Here we will type has root and here we will apply the minimum height of 100 VH. Display will be flex and we will save the changes. So let's open our web browser again and you can see our project is clear right now and here we have the title Gemini clone. After that, for this project we will create the folder structure. So first we will insert the assets in this assets folder. So let's come back to the desktop screen and here we have one folder with the name assets. In that we have multiple images, icons and one JS file. So let's copy all these files and we will add this in our project folder. So open project folder, src assets and place it here. You will find the assets download link in the video description. Now let's come back to the VS Code editor. So in this assets folder, you can see we have all the images, files and assets.js file. In this file, we have added all the import statement for the image and we have exported using one object with the name assets. Now we will create the folder structure for our project. So in this src folder, we will create a new folder and we will provide the name components. Inside this components folder, we will create two components that will be sidebar component and main component. So in this components folder, let's create the new folder and provide the name sidebar. And we will create another folder and the name is main. Now we will add the files in this sidebar component. So create a new file in this sidebar component and the file name will be sidebar.jsx. In this file we will use rafce and in this div we will add a class name property and the class name is sidebar. Now we will create the CSS file for this component. So in this sidebar folder we will create a new file and here we will provide sidebar.css. Now we have to import this CSS file in the component file. So we will type import/sidebar.css. So here we have created one component. Next we have to mount this component in the app component. So open app.jsx file and remove this div and we will convert it into fragments. So in this fragment we will mount our sidebar component. So here we will type sidebar, select it from this snippet. So it will be imported from this components folder. Now close this tag. Now our sidebar component has been mounted in the app component. Now we will create the HTML structure for the sidebar component. So let's hide this terminal and within this div we'll create two div that will be top and bottom. So let's type div.top, then another div with the class name bottom. So in this div with the class name top, we will add one img tag. In this image src, we will use the assets.js file where we have the assets object, and in this one we have all the images. So we will simply import that file, that is import, and here we will add assets in the curly braces from, and here we will provide the path. So it will be // assets folder / assets file. After that, in this src, we will provide curly braces, and here we will use the assets dot menu icon. If I save the changes and open the web browser, so you can see the menu icon on the web page. In this image tag, we will add a class name property and we will provide the class name menu. After that, we will create one div and we will provide a class name new chat. In this div, we will create one image tag, and in this src, we will add assets dot plus icon. After this image tag, we will create one p tag, and here we will type new chat. Save the changes and you can see here we have the plus icon and new chat on web page. Now after closing of this div, we will create a new div with the class name recent, and in this div we will add one p tag and we will provide the class name recent title. Within this p tag, we will type recent. After that, we will create one div with the class name recent entry. And in this div, we will create one image tag. And in this one, we will use assets.message icon. And after this image tag, we will add one p tag. And here we will type what is React and triple dot. We will save the changes and open the web browser. So here we have one chat icon and this text, what is React. Now the top part of the sidebar is ready. Now we will add the HTML component in the bottom part. So in this div with the class name bottom, we will create a div with the class name bottom item, and in this div we will create one image tag, and in the src we will add assets dot question icon, and after this image tag we will add one p tag, and in this one we will add help. After that, in this div we will add the similar class name that we have already used, recent entry. So let's copy and paste it here. Now let's create two other copy of this div. So just copy and paste for 2 times. In the second one, we will use another icon. So let's add assets.history icon. In the third one, we will use assets.setting icon. And we will update the text in p tag. So it will be activity and the last one will be settings. Now save the changes and we will open the web browser. So you can see here we have these icons and text, help, activity and settings. Next we will add the CSS properties for this sidebar. So let's come back and copy this class name sidebar and we will open sidebar.css file. Here we will add .sidebar class name First, we will provide the min height 100 VH, display inline flex, flex direction will be column, justify content space between, background color, and here we will provide this color code. Then save the changes. So you can see the changes in this sidebar. The contents are aligned in top and bottom area. Now we will add the CSS properties for these icons. So let's come back, and here we will type dot sidebar and img tag. Here we will provide the width property. So we will set the width 20 pixel. Now save the changes, and you can see all the images are fixed with the width of 20 pixel. Next we will add the CSS properties for this menu class name. So write this class name here. Before that we will add dot sidebar, then the class name dot menu. For this menu we will add display block, margin left 10 pixel, cursor pointer. After that, here in this sidebar class name we will add the padding, that will be 25 pixel and 15 pixel. We will save the changes and we will open the web page. So here we have some padding in this sidebar, and we have added display block for this menu icon. After that we will add the CSS properties for this new chat class name. So we will copy this class name, and here we will add dot sidebar dot new chat. Here we will provide the margin top 10 pixel, display inline flex, align items center, gap of 10 pixel. Then we will provide padding of 10 pixel and 15 pixel. Then we will provide the background color and one color code. Next we will add the border radius of 50 pixel and font size 14 pixel. Color will be gray. Cursor pointer. So we have added the CSS properties for this class name new chat, and we will open the web page. So you can see this new chat button is looking good. After that we will add the CSS properties for this recent class name. So we will add dot sidebar dot recent. Here we will provide display flex, flex direction column, then save the changes. After that we will add the CSS properties for this recent title class name. So let's copy this class name, and here we will add dot sidebar dot recent title. Here we will provide margin top of 30 pixel, margin bottom 20 pixel. We will save the changes. So here we have some space around this text. After that we will add the CSS properties for this recent entry class name. So we will copy this class name, and we will add dot sidebar dot recent entry. And here we will provide display flex, align items, start, gap of 10 pixel, padding 10 pixel, padding from the right side 40 pixel, border radius, and we will set the border radius 50 pixel. Then we will add the color property, and we will use one color code. Then we will add cursor pointer. We will save the changes, and here we have the entry. In the left side we have the message icon, and here we have this text. After that we will add one hover effect. So let's duplicate this and remove these CSS properties. Here we will add colon hover, and in this one we will provide the background color and we will change the background color code. Then we will save the changes. So if I move cursor over this text, we will get the background color. Now we will add the CSS properties for this bottom class name. So here we will add .sidebar .bottom, and here we will provide display flex direction column. We will save the changes. So these icons and text are looking good. Here we have used the same class name recent entry, and we have already provided the hover effect in this recent entry. That's why you can see the hover effect on these links. After that we will add the CSS properties for this bottom item class name. So here we will add .sidebar .bottom item, and here we will provide padding from the right side 10 pixel, cursor pointer, and save the changes. After that we will come here in this new chat class name and we will increase the margin top. It will be 50 pixel. Now our sidebar is ready. After that we will add the functionality in this sidebar so that when we click on this menu icon, it will collapse this sidebar, and if I click again, it will expand this sidebar. For that we will open sidebar.jsx file, and here let's add a space before this return statement, and we will create one state variable. For that we will type const, and the state variable name will be extended. Then the setter function name will be set extended equal to use state. Select this use state, so it will be imported automatically. After that we will initialize this variable using boolean data, that will be false. We will save the changes. So when we will click on this button, we have to change this state, and using this state we will hide these paragraph tag or display this paragraph tag. For that we will come here on this paragraph tag and we will add curly braces, and here we will add extended, and here we are going to use ternary operator. So if our extended is true, in that case we will provide this paragraph tag. So we will place it here after question mark, and here we will add colon. So if our extended is false, in that case we will return null. Save the changes, and our state is false, so it should be hidden. So in this new chat, this paragraph tag is hidden. Similarly, if our state is false, we have to hide all the recent entries. So to hide this one, we will add curly braces and we will use the ternary operator. And if our extended is true, in that case we have to display this div. So after this question mark, we will place this div, which is recent, and after that we will add colon, and if it is false we will simply return null. let's click on format document. We will save the changes. So the reset entry is also removed. After that, we have to hide these paragraph tags, which is help, activity and settings. For that, here we will add one curly braces and we will type extended, and if the extended is true, we will provide this p tag, and if it is false, we will simply return null. Similarly, here also we will use the same thing. So we will type extended question mark and this paragraph tag, and after that we will add colon null. In this p tag also we will use the ternary operator. We will add extended question mark, then return the p tag, then we will add colon null. Save the changes. So now this sidebar is collapsed. We don't have any text. Now we will add the logic so that when we click on this button, our state value will become false to true or true to false. So let's come back, and here we have the img tag. In this one we will add onClick property and we will pass one arrow function, and here we will call the setExtended function. Here we will get the previous value and we will return the not previous. So if the previous is true, it will return false and the value will be added in extended variable. We will save the changes, and if I click on this icon, it is displaying the p tag, and if I click again, it will hide these p tag. So the sidebar will be collapsed. Now we will add some custom font on our project. We will open Google and search for outfit font. We will open this website fonts.google.com. We will click on this button get font, then click on get embed code, then click on import, and from here we will copy this line. After that, close this tab and we will open the VS Code editor, and now we will open index.css file. So in the first line we will paste this code and we will add semicolon. After adding this, we will add font family after this box sizing. So we will add font family and we will provide outfit. We will save the changes and we will open the web browser. So now the font is looking good. So this sidebar is looking very nice, and we can expand and collapse this sidebar. Now we will create our main component. So we will open the main folder, and here we will create a new file and we will provide the file name main.jsx. After that we will create one CSS file. So here we will create a new file with the name main.css. In this main.jsx file we will use RAFCE, and then we will import the CSS file. So we will add import /main.css. So our CSS file has been imported. After that we will mount this component in our app component. So we will open app.jsx file, and after this sidebar we will provide opening arrow main and select this main from this snippet, and after that we will close this tag. Our main component has been mounted on our app component. So in the index.css file we have provided display flex. So if I type anything in this component, in main component, so that will be visible side by side. So you can see. After that we will start creating the main component UI. So first we will add the class name, that will be main, and inside this div we will create one div with the class name nav. Inside this div we will create one p tag where we will add Gemini, and after this p tag we will create one img tag. In this image src we will use assets.userIcon. We will save the changes. So here we have one text and one image. After that we will add the CSS properties for this nav. So first let's copy this class name main. We will paste it here in this main.css file. Here we will provide flex1, min height 100 VH, padding bottom 15 VH, and we will set the position relative. Save the changes and we will add the CSS properties for this nav class name. So here we will add .main.nav. For this nav we will provide display flex, align items center, justify content, space between, font size of 22 pixel, padding of 20 pixel, and after that we will use this color code. We will save the changes. So in the left side we have this p tag and in the right side we have one image. After that we will add the CSS properties for this image tag. So we will type .main.nav img tag, and here we will provide the width 40 pixel, border radius 50%. We will save the changes. Now our nav bar of our main component is ready. After that we will open main.jsx file, and after this div we will create one div with the class name main container. In this div we will create another div with the class name greet, and here we will add one p tag, and in this p tag we will add one span tag, and here we will add the text hello, and we will provide any name like Dev. After that we will create one more p tag, and here we will add how can I help you today. After this div we will create another div with the class name cards. So we will type div.cards, and in this cards div we will create another div with the card. So the class name is card. In this card div we will add the p tag, and here we will add any text, and after that we will add one img tag, and we will provide the assets dot compass icon. Now we will duplicate this card div and we will paste it 3 times. So we have total 4 cards. Now we will update the text. So remove this text and we will add a new text. Similarly we will replace the third text. Now we will replace the text in 4th card. So we have added this text. Now we will update the images also. So in the second one we will use assets.bulb icon. Then we will use assets.message icon. And in the last one we will add assets.code icon. We will save the changes and we will open the web page. So here we have the text, hello Dev, how can I help you today? And here we have 4 cards. Now we will add the CSS properties for this main container class name. So we will copy this class name and we will open main.css file, and here we will paste that class name with a dot. Here we will provide the maximum width of 900 pixel and margin auto. We will save the changes. So this contact will be aligned in the center and we will get the equal space in the left and right side. After that we will add the CSS properties for this greet class name. So let's copy this one and we will add .main.greet, and we will provide margin 50 pixel and 0 pixel. Then we will provide the font size of 56 pixel, color, and we will use this color code. Then we will use the font weight, that will be 500. We will provide the padding 20 pixel. We will save the changes and open the web page so you can see the changes in this greeting text. After that we will add the CSS properties for this span tag. So here we will type .main.greet and span tag. For this span tag we will add the background, and in the background we will use WebKit linear gradient and we will add the rotation of 16 degree. Then we will provide the color codes. So let's add the first color code. Then we will add the second color code. After that we will add WebKit background clip and we will set it as text. Then we will add the WebKit text fill color and we will make it transparent. Save the changes and we will open the web browser. So this text wrapped in a span tag is looking great with this gradient color. After that we will add the CSS properties for these card section. So let's copy this class name cards and here we will type .main.cards, and here we will provide display grid template columns, and here we will use repeat property. In this one we will provide autofill, min max, and here we will provide 180 pixel and 1 fraction. Then we will provide the gap of 15 pixel, and after that we will add the padding of 20 pixel. We will save the changes so our all cards are aligned horizontally. Next we will add the CSS properties for this class name, which is card. Let's copy this one, place it here. We will add .main.card. Let's add height of 200 pixel. Then we will add the padding of 15 pixel. Background color will be this color code. After that we will add the border radius, that will be 10 pixel. Then we will add the position relative and we will set the cursor pointer. Save the changes. So you can see these cards are looking good. Next we will add the CSS properties for this image tag to place it in the right bottom. So we will add .main.card and img tag. For this image we will provide the width 35 pixel, padding of 5 pixel, position absolute, background color will be white, border radius 20 pixel, bottom 10 pixel and right 10 pixel. Now save the changes. So our image tag is placed in the right bottom of each card. That is looking very nice. Next we will add the CSS properties for this paragraph tag. So here we will add .main, .card, then p tag. And here we will use this color code. Then we will provide the font size of 17 pixel and we will save the changes. Now our card is ready. Next we will add the hover effect on these card. So let's add .main, .card, :hover. Here we will provide the background color and we will add one different color code. Save the changes. So if I move cursor over this card, the background color is changing. That looks nice. After that, let's come back to the VS Code editor and we will open main.jsx file. So after closing of this cards div, here we will create a new div with the class name main_bottom. So let's add div.main_bottom. And here we will create another div with the class name searchbox. Inside this div we will add input field, type will be text, and we will add the placeholder property. In this placeholder we will type enter a prompt here. After this input field we will add a div, and in this div we will add 3 image tag. So we will add img multiplied by 3 and img into 3. So in these src we will provide assets dot gallery icon. In the second one we will provide assets dot mic icon, and in the third one we will add send icon. After closing of this div we will create one p tag and we will provide a class name bottom info. And in this p tag we will paste one text. Now we will save the changes and we will open the web page. So here at the bottom you can see we have a very big image input box and text. We will add these CSS properties. So let's come back and copy this class name main_bottom. We will provide the CSS for this main_bottom. So let's open this main.css file and paste that class name. Here we will set the position absolute. Then we will provide the bottom 0, width 100%, maximum width we will provide 900 pixel. Then we will provide the padding of 0 pixel and 20 pixel. After that we will add the margin auto. Now we will add the CSS properties for this search box class name. So we will copy this one and place it here. Here we will provide display flex, align items center, justify content space between, gap of 20 pixel. Then we will add the background color and one color code. Then we will provide the padding of 10 pixel and 20 pixel. Then we will add the border radius, that will be 50 pixel. We will save the changes. So this is how it is looking right now. Now we will add the CSS properties for these image tag. So we will add dot search box img tag and we will provide width of 24 pixel. Cursor pointer. Save the changes. Now this search box is looking better. Next we will add the CSS properties for this input field. So here we will add dot search box input field. Here we will provide flex 1, background transparent, border none, outline none, padding 8 pixel, font size of 18 pixel. We will save the changes. Now our input field is looking good. After that we will add the CSS properties for this div that is available in this search box. So here we will type dot search box div tag. For this one we will provide display flex align item center, gap of 15 pixel. We will save the changes. Now you can see we have the gap of 15 pixel between these icons. After that we will add the CSS properties for the text that is below this input box. So let's copy this class name bottom info, and here we will type dot main dot bottom info. Here we will provide font size that will be 13 pixel, margin 15 pixel and auto, text align center, font weight of 300. We will save the changes. So the text in the bottom is also looking good. Now we have created the UI for the main component. If I click on this menu icon, the width of this main component will be increased because we have used flex 1. So now we have completed the UI part of our project. Now we will integrate the Gemini API with our project. For that, we will open new tab and here we will search for Gemini API. Then open this link. Then we will click on this button, Get API Key. Then click on Get API Key and we will select this checkbox, then click on Continue button. Now we will click on this button, Create API Key. Here we have to select one project. We will select this project, then click on Create API Key in existing project. Now our API key has been created. Let's copy this one and we will open the VS Code editor, and in this src folder we will create a new folder with the name config, and in this config folder we will create a new file that will be gemini.js. Here we will create one variable. So let's type const API key, and here we will paste the API key in a string. Now close this one and we will click on this Google AI Studio. And here we have the option Get Code. Let's click here. Then we will select JavaScript. Then we will click on this copy link. So we have copied this code. After this line, just paste the code that we have copied, and we will cut this API key and we will provide it here in this your API key. Paste it. Now remove this variable. After that, we will open the integrated terminal in our root folder. Open in integrated terminal. So we are in our directory Gemini clone. Here we will type npm install Google Generative AI. Let's copy and paste it here. then press enter. So it will install this package in our project folder. So the package has been installed. Now we can delete the instance of this terminal. Now we have one terminal where our project is running. Let's hide this terminal, then save this file, and here we have all the logics available. Using that, we can provide the prompt and get the response. Here we have your user input, and here we have response, and here we are adding console.log and response text. After that, we will modify this function. In this run chat function, we will add one parameter that will be prompt, and instead of this user input, we will add our parameter prompt. So when we will provide this prompt in this function, and we will get the response in console. To run this function in our project, we will type export and default and remove this parenthesis. So we have exported this function. Now we can use this function in our project. To use this function in our project, we will create one context. We will store all the logics. So in this src folder, we will create one folder with the name context, and in this context folder, we will create one JSX file. So the file name will be context.jsx. Now we will set up the context API. For that, we will use the create context hook. So we will type const context equal to create context. After that, we will export this variable. So we have added export const context equal to create context. Now we will create the context provider function. So we will type const context provider equal to, and in this parameter we will pass the props. Then we will create it as one arrow function, and here we will create one variable, and the name will be context value equal to, and this will be one object. Inside this object, if I place any variable or function that we can use in anywhere in our project component. So after this, we will add a return statement. We will add this parenthesis, and in this one we will add context dot provider, and within this tag we will type curly braces props dot children. In this context provider tag, we will add the value property, and in this value property we will provide context value. After that, we will add export default statement, and here we will export context provider function. Then we will save the changes. To access this context in our project, we will open main.jsx file and remove this react.strict mode. Here we will add context provider tag. Here also we will update context provider. So we have wrapped the app component using this context provider. Now we have the support of context API in our project. Now we will open context.jsx file. Here we will create one function, and the function name will be onSent. So we will type const onSent equal to, and it will be one asynchronous arrow function. So we will type async. Then Here we will add the parameter prompt, and after that in this function we will call our function which is runChat, that we will get from Gemini.js file. So we will type run chat. After selecting it, this function has been imported from the Gemini.js file. Then we will provide the prompt. So in this function we will type prompt. Because it is one async function, so we will type await. After that, here we will call this function which is onSent. So we will type onSent, and here we will provide one prompt. So let's pass one string where we will type what is React.js. Then we will save the changes and we will open our web browser. And if I open the console tab, and reload the web page, so here we are getting the message required is not defined. So we will open Gemini.js file, and instead of this required we will type from and remove this bracket, and instead of const we will type import. Now this will be imported from this package. Save the changes and open the web page and reload the web page. And after a few seconds in the console, you will see the response from Gemini. Here we have what is React.js, and we are getting this response from Gemini.js file. Here we have this function runChat, and here we have provided what is React.js. So here we have received the complete response about what is React.js. Now we will add the logic. Using that, we will get the input from the user, and we will generate this text and display to the front user. So let's come back to the VS Code editor and remove this onSent. And here we will create some state variables. Using that, we will get the input from the user, and after generating the response, we will display it in this component. So for that we will type const, and here we will type one state variable name, that is input, and the setter function name will be setInput is equal to useState, and we will initialize it with empty string. After that we will create one more state variable, and the name will be recent prompt. So we will type const recent prompt. Then the setter function name will be set recent prompt equal to useState, and we will initialize it with empty string. After that we will create one more state variable, and the name will be previous prompt. So we will type const previous prompt. Setter function name will be set previous prompts equal to useState, and we will initialize it with empty array. After that we will create one more state variable, and the name will be showResult. So we will add const showResult, and the setter function name will be set showResult equal to useState, and we will initialize it with boolean data that will be false. After that, we will create one more state variable and the name will be loading. And the setter function name will be setLoading equal to useState, and we will initialize it with the boolean data false. After that, we will create another state variable and the name will be result data. So we will type const result data and the setter function name set result data is equal to useState and initialize it with empty string. So here we have created total 6 state variable. First one is input that we will use to save the input data. Then we have the recent prompt. So when we will click on this send button, this input field data will be saved in this recent prompt and we will display it in our main component. Then we have the previous prompts. We have declared it as an array and we will use it to store all the input history and display it in this recent tab. After that, we have created the show result, that is a boolean type false or true. Once it is true, it will hide the greet text and this boxes. It will hide this and here it will display the result. After that, we have created this loading state. If this is true, it will display one loading animation, and after getting the data, we will make it false so that we can display our data. And at the end, we have result data state that we will use to display our result on our web page. So first we will pass these state variables and setter functions in the context value so that we can access these state variable and functions in main component and sidebar component. So in this context value, first we will pass previous prompts, then we will pass set previous prompts, then we will pass onSent function, then we will pass set recent prompt, then we will add recent prompt, then show result, after that loading, then result data, after that input state, then set input, and after that new chat function. So in this context value, we have provided the state and setter function that we can access in main component and sidebar component. After that, we will open main.jsx file, and here we will get the states and functions using the context API. So we will add const curly braces. First, we will get the onSent function. After that, we will add recent prompt. After that, we will get the show result. Then we will get loading state. Then we will get the result data state. Then we will get the set input state. Then we will get the input state equal to, and here we will use context hook, and in this one we will provide our context. So we will select this context. So this context has been imported from the context folder and context.js file. So in this component, we have the functions and state. Using that, we will display the result on our main component. So first, in this input field, we will add onChange property, and in this one we will pass one arrow function. Here we will pass the event, and in this arrow function we will call set input function, and here we will provide e dot target dot value. Then we will add the value property and we will provide the input state. So this input field will be converted in controlled input field, so that when we add any changes in this input field, like what is React, so at every changes our input state will be updated. After that we will open context.jsx file, and after clicking on the onsend we will get the prompt using our parameter. So in this run chat we will remove this prompt, and here we will provide this input. So if I type input and save the changes, we will come back to main.jsx file, and in this third image tag where we have used this send icon, here we will add onClick property, and in this onClick property we will pass one arrow function, and here we will call onSend function. We will save the changes, and if I type something in this input field like what is full form of JSX and click on this arrow icon, this function will be executed and we will get the response in console. JSX stands for JavaScript XML. So our onSend function is properly working. Let's test it again, and we will type what is full form of HTML and click on this arrow icon, and here we have another response, hypertext markup language. So this generative AI is working fine and it is generating the response. Now we have to display this response on our web page. So let's come back to the VS Code editor and we will open context.jsx file. Now we will properly create this onSend function. So first in this onSend function, we will reset our result data state. So we will add set result data and we will reset it using the empty string. So when we will run this function, our result data will be reset so that our previous response will be removed from our state variable. After that we will add set loading so that we can display some loading animation on our screen. We will make it true. Then we will add set show result true. After making it true, we are getting the data using the run chat and displaying in console. So we have to display that data. So we will store that data in variable. So we will open gemini.jsx file. Here we have const response is equal to result.response, and we are doing console log. After that we will return response.text. So this function will return the response text. Then save these changes and open context.jsx file, and here we will type const response is equal to await, and run chat function we have provided the input. Now our response will be stored in this response variable. After getting the response, here we will add set result data, and in this one we will store this response. So just add response. So after storing this response, we will add set loading false so that it will hide the loading animation. After that we will reset the input field. So we will add the set input and we will provide empty string. So the input field will be reset. After that, we will save the changes and we will open the web browser. If I type what is database and click on this arrow icon, so our response has been generated in the console. Now let's come back to the VS Code editor and here we will open main.jsx file. After that, here we will add the ternary operator. So let's add curly braces and here we will use a state variable show_result. So if the show_result is not true, in that case we will add question mark, and in that case we will return one fragment, and in this fragment we will place this greet and this card div. So let's select everything and we will remove and paste it inside this fragment. So if the show_result is not true, it will return this, and if the show_result is true, in that case here we will add colon and here we will return one div. And in this div we will add the class name property, that will be result. We will save the changes. Right now our screen is clear and here we have generated the data in console and our state has been updated. So when the data will be generated, before that set show_result will be true, so that this greet and cards div will be hidden and it will display this another div with the class name result. So if I reload the web page, here we have this greet text and these cards, and here if I add any text like what is React 19 and click on this button, so this screen will be cleared. And after generating this data, we have to display it on this screen. So our data has been generated in the console. In this div, we will create one div and we will provide one class name result title. In this div, we will create one image tag, and in this src we will use assets dot user icon, and after this image tag we will create one paragraph tag, and in this p tag we will display recent prompt state. So we will open context.jsx file and here we have set show_result true. After that we will add set reset prompt and here we will provide the input field value. After that we will open main.jsx file. So we are in the main.jsx file, and after this result title div we will create another div and the class name will be result data. So we will type result data, and in this one we will create one image tag, and in this src we will provide assets dot Gemini icon, and after that we will add one p tag, and in this p tag we will add dangerously set inner HTML, and here we will add one object where we will define HTML property and we will provide result data. If I provide this result data state directly inside this curly braces, in that case it will display all the tags that are available in that text. So if I want to hide those tags and display that tag as a HTML tag, for that we will use this property where we have defined HTML result data. Remove this one, save the changes, and we will open the web page. And here if I type what is React Native and click on this arrow icon. So here our state has been updated and it is displaying user icon, what is React Native. Then we have this Gemini icon, and after generating the response, it is displaying this response. Next, we will add the CSS properties to design this one. So let's come back and we will copy this class name result. And we will open main.css file. Here we will add .result. Here we will provide the padding 0 pixel and 5%. Then we will define the maximum height, that will be 70 VH. After that we will add overflow Y scroll. Then we will save the changes. So now it is a scroll level div. Now we have to hide this scroll bar. So let's add dot result double colon dash WebKit scroll bar, and here we will provide display none. Save the changes so that vertical scroll bar is hidden and we can scroll this easily. Next we will add the CSS properties for this result title. So let's copy this class name and here we will add dot result title. For this class name we will provide the margin of 40 pixel and 0 pixel. Then we will provide display flex, align items center, and we will provide the gap of 20 pixel. We will save the changes. So now the image and the question are aligned side by side. Now we will add the CSS properties for this image. So we will type dot result and img tag. We will provide width 40 pixel, border radius 50%. We will save the changes. So now these icons are looking good. We have updated the width. Now we will add the CSS properties for this class name, which is result data. So let's copy this one and paste it here. Here we will provide display flex, align items start, then gap of 20 pixel. We will save the changes. Now this icon and the response text are aligned side by side. Now when the response is not available, till that time we will display one loader. To create the loading animation, we will open main.jsx file, and in this result data, after this img tag, we will use the ternary operator. So we will add curly braces, and here we will add loading state. So if the loading state is true, in that case we will return one div. So we will create one div tag and we will provide the class name loader. So if the loading is false, in that case we will return this paragraph tag where it is displaying the result data. Let's understand it again. If the loading is true, it means our response is not generated yet. In that case, we will display this div with the class name loader, where we will create the loading animation. And if the loading is false, in that case, it has generated the response. So then we will display this p tag where we are displaying the result data. So in this loader div, we will add 3 HR tag. So let's add HR into 3. So 3 HR tags has been created. Now we'll add the CSS properties for this loader class name. So open main.css file, paste this class name here, loader. Here we will define the width, that will be 100%. Then we will add display flex direction column. And here we will provide gap of 10 pixel. We will save the changes. Then we will open main.jsx file and we will provide the CSS properties for this HR. So here let's add .loader and HR tag. Here we will provide border radius 4 pixels, border none, background color, and here we will use this color code. Then we will add background property. So in this background we will add linear gradient, and here we will add to right. Then we will add the 3 color codes. So we have added the linear gradient, to right, and 3 color codes in the background. Then we will add the background size and we will set it with 800 pixel and 50 pixel. Then we will add the height of 20 pixel. We will save the changes. After that we will open the web page, and if I add any text in this input field, like what is full form of SQL, and click on this send icon, so here it is displaying the loader. So when the data will be generated, it will hide this loader and it will display our data. So here the data has been generated and it is displaying on the web page. So the loader is hidden. Now we will add the animations for our loader. So let's come back and we will define the keyframes. So let's add keyframes and we will add the name loader. In this keyframe we will add 0%, and here we will provide background position minus 800 pixel. Then we will add 100%, and at the 100% we will provide background position 800 pixel and 0 pixel. Here also we will provide 0. So we have created the keyframes. After that, in this HR tag we will add animation and provide the name of the keyframe, that is loader. Then we will provide the duration 3 seconds. We will set it infinite and linear. We will save the changes and open the web page, and here if I type any text, what is React JS, and click on this arrow icon, so you can see the loader is animated and it is looking good. And after generating the response, it will display the text on the web page. Now we will add the CSS properties for this p tag. So let's add dot result data, then p tag. Here we will add the font size of 17 pixel, font weight 300, line height 1.8. Save the changes. So now this response text is looking good. We can easily scroll this layout. Next we will add the logic. Using that, this text will be displayed with typing effect. For that, let's come back to the VS Code editor and we will open context.jsx file. And here we will create one function, and the function name will be delay para. So let's add const delay para, and it will be one arrow function. So create this arrow function, and in this parameter we will get the index number. Then we will take next word. So if I add any question in this input field, like what is React Native, and click on this button, So we are getting this data in form of text, and here we have these stars. So next we will add the logic. Using that, we will remove this star and we will place it inside a bold tag. So we will open VS Code editor, and after generating this response, we will create one variable with the name response array. In this array, we will store our response using the split method, and we will split the text. So we will add response.split and we will split it with the double star. After that, we will create one more variable and the name will be new array. After that, we will add for loop and we will add let I is equal to 0. This loop will execute till response array length. So we will add response array dot length. After that, we will add I plus plus, so it will increment the I value by 1. In this for loop, we will iterate each word that will be separated with this double star, and around that we will add the bold tag. So we will add if, and in this if statement, first we will check if our I is even number or 0. So if I is equal to 0, we are adding the comparison, and we will add or I and this operator 2 is not equal to 1. So if I divide the index by 2 and the remainder is not equal to 1, it means that number is even number. So whenever the index is even number or 0, in that case we will add a new array, and in this new array we will concatenate this word. So let's add response array and we will provide index I. Then we will add the else statement, and in this else statement we will add new array, and first we will concat one bold tag. So let's add b tag. Then we will add response array and index number. Then we will concat closing bold tag. So we have added the logic. Using that, wherever we will get the double star, that text will be added in bold tag. After that, instead of this response, we will provide new array. So it will be a string. In that case, we will rename with another name. So let's add new response. Here also we will update new response, and in the else statement also new response. After that, in set result data we will provide new response and save the changes. Now if I open the browser and reload the web page, and here we will ask one question. So what is React JS? And click on this arrow icon. So it is displaying the loading animation. So here our data has been generated, and wherever we got the double star, there it is displaying this bold text. After that, here we are getting the single star. Using that, we will create the new line. So we will open the VS Code editor, and after this for loop we will add let new response to equal to, and we will use new response dot a split method, and here we will split it with the single star, and here only we will add the join method, And in this join method, we will add one BR tag. And in this set result data, we will provide new response to. So what we are doing, wherever we will get star, we will replace that with this BR tag. Using that, we can add a new line. So save the changes. Here we are getting one error. So let's remove this BR. By mistake, I have added this. So save the changes. Now let's come back to the web page. And here we will type what is React JS and click on this arrow icon. So it is generating the response. Now the response has been generated and here it is displaying the response text. And wherever we have received the single star, here we have added the BR tag. Using that line will be shifted in the new line. So now response is looking good. After that, we will add the typing effect for our response. Using that, this data will be displayed with the typing effect. For that, we will open the context.jsx file, and in this delay para, we will add set timeout function, and in this one we will pass one function. Remove this parameter, and after this function we will add delay duration into index. So we have provided delay duration into index, and here we will use the set result data, and we will take the previous result, and in this one we will concat the next word. So we will add previous plus next word. So this para function has been created, and we will link this function with our onSent function. So here we are calling directly set result data. So remove this one, and here we will create one variable, and the name will be new response array. And in this array we will store new response to, and on this one we will add dot split method. So wherever we'll get the space, it means there is another word. So using that we will create one array. After that, we will create one for loop, and we will add let I equal to 0. I is less than new response array dot length and I plus plus. In this for loop, we will add words one by one. In this delay para function, we will pass the parameter index number and next word. So first we will get the next word. So let's add const next word is equal to new response array, and here we will provide the index number. After that we will call the delay parameter function, and here we will provide the index I and next word. So we have used this space to split the string. So in our response we will not get the space. To solve this one, here we will add concat and one space character and save the changes. Now if I open the browser and we will type what is React Native and click on this arrow icon, so it is generating the response, and after that you can see it is displaying the response with the typing effect, and it looks perfect. Now this delay para function is working. After that we will add the functionality. Using that, whatever prompt we are adding, that we will save in our state variable. For that, before this run chat, we will add set previous prompts, and here we will add previous prompt, and in this one we will add the input field data. So let's add input. After adding this, whenever we will call this onSent function, every time in this previous prompts array, our input will be stored, and we will use this input in our sidebar component in the recent section. After that, we will add the logic. Using that, this previous prompts will be added in the recent. For that, we will open the VS Code editor and we will open sidebar.jsx file. So here, first we will get some state variable and functions using context API. So we will add const curly braces onSent function. Then we will add previous prompts state. Then we will get the set recent prompt equal to use context, and in this one we will provide the context. So select this one from the context folder. So it has been imported. Now we got the onSent function, previous prompts and set recent prompts. Now we will come here in this div with the class name recent, and after this p tag, here we will add the curly braces and we will type previous prompts, and on this one we will add the map method, and in this map method we will pass one arrow function. So we have added the arrow function, and on this arrow function we will pass the parameter that will be individual item and index number. After that, here we will add the return statement, and in this return we will add the parenthesis, and in this one we will move this div with the class name recent entry. So we have added it in the return. After that, we will use this item. So place it here in this p tag. So remove this what is React. Here we will add the curly braces and we will add item that we will get using this map method. We will save the changes and we will open the web page. If I reload the web page and open the sidebar, so this recent is empty. And if I type any question in this input field, like what is React JS, and if I click on this arrow icon, so here we have one entry, what is React JS. Similarly, if I type what is database and click on this button, so here it is displaying what is database. So if I provide any long text like how to create a navbar in React JS and click on this button, so this full prompt will be displayed in the sidebar. To solve this problem, let's come back, and in this item we will add dot slice property, and here we will provide 0 to 18. We will save the changes. Now the 18 characters will be displayed in the sidebar component. Now we will add another question, what is full form of CSS, and click on this send icon. So here we have another entry, what is full form of CSS. So whenever we are generating one data, here it is displaying one text undefined. To solve this one, let's come back, and here we have let new response. So we will declare it with empty string, save the changes, and now if I generate any response. So let's type one question. What is full form of JSX in React? And click on this arrow icon. So now here we have response, and here we don't have any text like undefined. Now if I reload the web page, and let's come back to the VS Code editor. Here we will create the logic using that if I click on the recent entries, that data will be visible again on the screen. For that, in this onSent function, using this parameter, we will generate the previous prompt data. So we will open sidebar.jsx component, and here we will create one arrow function. That's name will be load prompt, const load prompt equal to, so it will be one asynchronous function, so we will type async. We will add one parameter prompt, and it will be arrow function. So in this one we will call onSent function, and here we will pass one prompt that we are getting using this parameter. So it is one async function, so we will type await, and before that we will add set recent prompt, and here we will provide this prompt. We will get this prompt using this entry div. Now we will link this load prompt function with this div. So we will type on click. We will provide one arrow function, and here we will call load prompt function, and in this one we will pass this item that we will use to generate our prompt. We will save the changes. After that we will open context.jsx file, and here we are generating the response for this input field data. Now we will check if we are getting any data in the parameter. In that case, we will generate the response using this prompt parameter, and if there is no data in this prompt, in that case we will generate the response using this input field data. For that, after this set show result true, we will add one if condition. We will type if the prompt is not undefined. In that case, we will generate the response using this prompt. So remove this line, and before this if statement we will create one variable, and the name will be response. So we will type let response, and after that in this if condition we will add response is equal to await run chat, and here we will provide prompt because the prompt is not undefined, so we will use this prompt. And after that we will add set recent prompt, and in this one we will set prompt. Then we will add the else statement, and here we will add set previous prompts. In this one we will take the previous prompt, and here we will add previous and input. So this statement will be executed when we will execute this onSent function for our input field, and this if statement will work if we will click on this recent item from the recent section that will be received in this prompt. Here we will write the previous logics. So let's add set recent prompt. Here we will provide the input. Similarly, we will generate the response. So we will add response await run chat, and here we will provide input field data. So we have added the logic. Now we will save the changes and we will open the VS Code editor. We will expand it, and in this input field, if we type what is full form of JSX, then we will click on the send icon and it will generate the data. Here we have the entry in the recent. What is full form of JSX? So we have received the response. After that, here we will search, tell me about React in short, and we'll click on the send icon. So here we have the second entry, tell me about React in short. So it has generated the response. Now if I click on the first entry, what is full form of JSX? Let's click here. So here it is displaying the question, what is full form of JSX, and we have the response from Google Gemini, JavaScript, XML. Now if I click on the second entry from this recent, here we have another question, tell me about React in short, and it is generating the response. So we have successfully created this functionality. Using that, we can load the previous prompt data. Now we will add the logic for this new chat button, so that when we will click on this button, it will remove these data and it will display the previous screen, that is this one. For that, let's come back, and after this delay pada, we will add one arrow function. So we will type const new chat equal to, and it will be one arrow function, and in this one we will just add set loading false, then we will add set show result false. After executing this function, result screen will be hidden and the greet screen and card section will be visible. Now we have to add this function in this context value. So we will add new chat and we will get this function in our sidebar.jsx file. In this set recent prompt, we will add comma new chat, and we will link this function with this div with the class name new chat. So let's add on click. In this one, we will pass one arrow function and we will call new chat. We will save the changes, and if I type any question, what is React 19, and click on this button, so it is displaying the loader, and in the sidebar we have this entry in the recent section. And now if I click on this new chat button, so it will display the previous screen with the greeting message and these cards. So now we have created all the functionality for our Google Gemini app. Now we will optimize the UI of our web page and we will make it responsive so that it will look great in the small screen devices like mobile phone. For that, we will open index.css file, and here we will create one keyframe and the name will be fade in. So let's add keyframe fade in. Here we will add 0% and we will add the opacity 0. Then we will add the 100% and we will make the opacity 1. After that, in this root, we will add animation property, and here we will add fade in keyframe. Then we will add the duration 1.5 seconds. We will save the changes and open the web page. You can see it will appear with fade in animation. Now we will add this animation in the sidebar component also. So let's open sidebar.css file, and in this recent class name we will add animation and here we will provide the keyframe's name, fade in, and we will provide the duration 1.5 seconds. We will save the changes. Now if I type any prompt, what is React Native, and click on this button, and if I open this text will be appeared here with fade in animation. So whenever we close and open this, you will see this animation. After that, we will make the sidebar responsive. To make the sidebar responsive, first we will reload the web page, and here we will right click and inspect, and we will select this mobile device view. So this is how this website will appear in the mobile phone devices. So here we will add the media query. So we will type media, then max width. We are writing it in sidebar.css file. We will add the max width of 600 pixel. Here we will add .sidebar class name, and here we will add display none. So from the phone device, this sidebar will be hidden, and now this interface is clear in a small screen. Now we will open main.css file, and here we will add the media query. So let's add media. We will provide the max width of 600 pixel, and here we will add the class name .main bottom input field, and here we will provide flex none width 150 pixel. After that, we will add one class name main bottom, then img tag. For this image we will define the width 20 pixel. Then we will add the class name dot search box, and here we will provide padding 5 pixel and 10 pixel, and at the end we will add dot search box div, and here we will provide the gap of 5 pixel. Save the changes. Now if I scroll this web page in a small screen, you can see this input field area is also looking good. We have decreased the gap between these icons also. So this Gemini app is looking great in a small screen, and it will be displayed like this on larger screen device. After that, we will add one more small functionality so that when the input field is empty, in that case this send icon will be hidden, and when we type any text in this input field, this send icon will be visible. For that, we will open main.jsx file, and in this image tag where we have added onClick, here we will add ternary operator. So let's add curly braces, and we will check if the input field have any content. In that case, we will provide this image tag. So we will cut and paste it here. So if there is any data, it will display this image tag, and else we will add colon and null. Save the changes and open the web page. So here you can see there is no data in this input field, and here we don't have the arrow icon. And if I type something in this input field, what is data, and it will display the arrow icon again. And if I click on this arrow icon, it will display the loader animation, and after that it will display the generated data from the Google Gemini. And we have made this application fully responsive. If I change the screen size, you can see it looks perfect in all screen size. Now we have successfully created our Google Gemini app using React JS and Generative AI. So as you have completed this tutorial till the end, I want you to build it by your own and share the screenshot of this project on LinkedIn by tagging Great Stack page. I hope this video will be helpful for you. If you have any question, you can ask me in the comment section. Please like and share this tutorial and also subscribe my channel Great Stack. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial.